That's not even the famous.
Every step I take.
Every step I Tony's eating his sugar puffs. Did season 3 kick off with a bang? It really needed it. No, guys, because undoubtedly I think this was the worst episode of the series.
Holy
to this
crap,
point.
it just dawned on me this was the season premiere.
Yeah.
Jesus, normally you start the season with something good.
No, this was horrendous.
45 minutes of them trying to put a bug in Tony's house.
49 minutes.
Okay, 49 minutes there.
49 minutes is all I've got, is all I'm willing to give you. But when he said 49 minutes of putting a bug in Tony's house, that is what happened in this episode.
Yeah, not even like stretching, imagine. Obviously, there was a wee bit of spying going on, the family members as well, but nothing. It was filler. How's this episode not filler?
Other TV shows, right, would have wrapped this up in 5 minutes.
Aye.
Like a 5-minute montage of the
It's like
set.
somebody going in pretending to be a worker or something like that.
Yeah.
And don't worry, I'll fix your dodgy pipes. And then when they're no looking, they plant a wire or something. Yeah, the Sopranos decided it was a good idea to infest 49 minutes into this episode.
IDMB rated it an 8.6.
Maybe that was because Adriana looked good in her tennis gear.
Well, it could be, but...
Maybe that's what the high rating's for. It couldn't be for the story, though.
No, you say story, there was no story.
Well, no, there was a story, but there was only one story.
I know, but...
And the story was bugging Tony Soprano's house. I mean, normally with Tony, you always get a couple of funny lines, and normally the scenes with his crew are good. We only really got one scene with his crew, and everyone was sitting there fucking depressed.
Eating with your pishy shoelaces. No, but there was no fallout for last season.
If you touch your shoelaces, you're going to have piss on your hands.
Where was the fallout for last season?
I wanted to see Tony depressed. Well, he's always depressed. But I wanted to see Tony depressed over Big Sal. It's almost like Big Sal didn't fucking exist.
Did she even really exist, Sal?
The other guy...
Exactly, did she? Did this show even exist?
Richie Aprile. Like, not even a wee mention of him. Yeah, he gets mentioned by the cops or whatever, but why is Tony not like, guy? Good job I got rid of
You know
Richie.
what? I actually think they might have to rewrite a lot of this episode because the actress that played Livia died in between season 2 and 3. And she is in episode 2, CGI. I think they had to rewrite a lot because this to me was horrendous.
Well, maybe that's why I got an 8.6.
Nah, I don't
No
give a
offense,
shit.
like, but...
Yeah, but...
If Olivia's at the show, then that's a bonus for me.
How many times do we
Rest in peace, by the way, whoever plays her.
Nancy something. Right, I don't understand though why we needed to see
Every day if I do.
I don't see why we needed to see 10 different ways the Sopranos left their house. We got Bing 1 going this, Bing 2 going that. You've got the guy with the list following Tony to the Bada Bing, and he's trying to fill out a crossword.
Bada bing, bada boom.
It's the realest shittest show in the room. Put your hands up. Meadows in college. AJ's smoking.
What college? This is like the weirdest fucking college ever. It's like 1 minute it looks like it's a normal hallway, and then you open a door, and instead of going into a classroom, you're in like the dorm or the bedroom. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, and her roommate talking about chicken on the New York subway. What did that accomplish? Like, our roommate's got anxiety. This is 2001 when fucking it didn't exist. You try to tell me it existed?
And wouldn't they all be like separated?
Yeah. I
Would
understand.
it not be like male and female dorms?
Yeah,
Because we see the agent who's spying on her, and she's standing outside Meadows' room, and then the door right next to Meadows' room opens, and it's some fucking shirtless dude.
how out of place though does she look?
Yeah, because she's clearly older. And
She's
it's like,
about 40 odds, and these ones are like 20.
It's no surprise they got a woman officer to do this role, because if it was a male they probably would have kicked him out. Been like, right, what are you doing? It's pedo.
What are you doing in the?
hell outta
What are
here.
you doing in the college? But right, let's just wrap
Well,
it
she
up.
didn't look that old, I guess. She looked older than everyone else.
No, she didn't look old, but for college she looked old.
Maybe she was not a student. Maybe she was a teacher.
That could have worked, just staring at the bulletin board. Right, so let's just wrap up the Tony stuff. He goes to the Bada Bing, he meets with the crew. Spoons. Remember that guy they killed in season 2? You barely remember. They give him
He's
a wee.
back.
They give you a wee flashback on the screen. Turns out he's no deed. Turns out he is deed. It's just his twin brother, played by the same actor, which I've no real issue with. I mean, that's all right, I guess. And I've got a twin spiritual connection. We can only feel. And Tony being the insecure freak here, anytime anyone's trying to speak to this guy about his brother, he's like, let's move on. What about the sausage? What about the salami? See, he's not doing a good job of pretending that he's nothing to do with it.
Yeah, he's making himself.
See, for a guy that's
silly.
top man, I think he cannot play off suspicion really well. How can someone like Christopher bring up this guy's brother in conversation, and Tony's shutting it down really quick? I get it, right? It's not ideal to talk about a guy your crew murdered, but at the end of the day, you talking we don't talk. Let's not talk about that. Your depression. It's no real. I know he's your twin, but come on, go over it. To me, this was filler. They've brought this guy in. They've brought more from Junior's crew. How many people's from Junior's crew? Last season, they bring in Bobby, big fat Bobby. Where was he in season 1? Nowhere. Where was this guy in season 1 and 2?
Nowhere.
Oh, but guess what? He's brought a coat in for Carmella. Who cares? And Tony's table's looking pretty weak these days.
What is it with fucking coats in this show? So about the jacket.
The jacket. What happened to the jacket? The jacket's gone. The jacket probably got put in the meat grinder as well. But Paulie, I mean, probably the best scene of the episode's him talking about piss on
shoelaces.
He's like, if you go into the women's toilet, you could eat off the floor, and ours, it's, you know what? He's got a point.
He's got a point, but I wouldn't eat off the floor in a women's toilet.
No, I wouldn't eat off the floor, but at the end of the day, there's going to be piss all over the floor in men's toilets just because it's urinals. And it is just more messy.
Yes, I don't like urinals.
You don't like them?
No.
No, I don't like them, but you had a point here. Did he need to talk about it over dinner or whatever they're eating? No, but...
Why do guys have to piss next to each other, but women get cubicles?
Because, I don't know, sitting down. Yeah, it's weird.
What is the difference?
Yeah, what's the difference?
No, you could maybe say, you don't want to be...
Taking a shite.
But if it's a piss, then what is the difference?
True, but if a woman's sitting down, no one would know what they're doing. Well, a man, if you're sitting down, you're taking a shit, because who pisses sitting down?
I've done that before. Sometimes you're just tired.
If you're tired, but...
You want to rest your
legs.
But
they do it most people don't do it in public, you go to a urinal. Point is, this was the best part about the episode.
But you've always got those weird people that would kind of stand closer to you than they need to.
True, but this episode wasn't good, guys.
If I went to a urinal, I would, and I was the only person in the bathroom or toilet, I wouldn't go to the middle and piss. I would go to one of the sides, because I've got enough knowledge and understanding that if someone else comes in, they can go to the other side. Yeah,
but some people will just go right beside you.
And that's not on.
It's not on at all. Right, so the operation to break in...
What if they piss on your shoelaces?
Exactly. And
that's what you can't eat. Can't tie them.
That's what Paulie was fuming about. At the end of the day...
Why doesn't Paulie just get strap-on shoes?
You know what? I've never actually thought of this because it's never been brought up in conversation in any TV show.
I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever washed my hands after tying my shoelaces. I've just never really thought of that.
And it's got nothing to do with piss, because it can be just anything in general.
You think about it, your shoelaces, if they do come a bit unloose, they're touching the ground. Even if your shoelaces aren't unloose, they're flopping about, they're touching
air.
Your shoes. Well, every part he's touching air. But they're touching your shoes.
The pissy air.
Which also could be touching other stuff. So, I mean, technically if you do tie your shoe... You know what? Paulie's onto something here.
Paulie is onto something.
Maybe this episode was an 8.6.
But the FBI were onto something, guys, because they're going to put a mic in Tony's basement via a lamp. When they're doing...
Every mic I plant.
Every surveillance. When they were doing surveillance, they noticed this boiler was leaking at the bottom and was eventually going to go boom. And what went boom? The boiler went boom. That was the big talking point of this episode. And they were like, "Oh my god, why is there a family emergency?" I thought they would have actually clicked on to the fact that the boiler went boom, because they said it was really close to doing that. And then we see the maid. They're going to use her husband to fix it. I have no idea of estimate, Mr. Tony, so you're just going to have to give me money so I can buy the equipment and the products, the produce to produce you a new boiler with some PVC.
But see, that's bullshit. You can't really do that. Say, oh, I don't know. Let me do it first, then I'll tell you. So you could do this and then claim, it cost 10 million, and then Tony doesn't pay, and you're like, well, you're not paying for the work I done. If you're going to do a job, you have to give somebody a fucking quote up front.
Yeah, like
or at least say, let me look into it and I'll get back to you. You can't be like,
yeah, he started straight away.
You can't be like, I'll do it first, then I'll tell you. Well, maybe Tony doesn't like the price and he doesn't want me to do it.
Yeah.
Realistically, though, if Tony didn't like the price and he's not going to pay him the full amount, what's this guy would do? Get his maid to spike his fucking tea or something?
Right, anyway, Patsy Pirelli here, or Patsy Parisi. I don't. It's Patsy, right? He busts into Tony's backyard while the FBI are looking. He takes a piss. It looked like he was going to shoot Tony, but he didn't. And what's weird? I actually thought he didn't know that Tony did it, but here he obviously knows because he's about to pull a gun. Who he is, but he's actually pointing it at him. But to my knowledge, he doesn't actually confront Tony about this the rest of the show. Spoiler alert, but I mean, who really cares? Who really gives a fuck, damn it? But the FBI, they managed to get the lamp planted. All is good. And this episode, right, literally just ends with Tony working it. Like, him and Carmela arguing who's going to be using, like, the
you're dressed. You can use the leg machine or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, it's alright, you use it. And they're both having a fucking argument over who's going to use the exercise bike, and that's actually pretty much how it ends. She's like, no, I've got clothes I need to fold for me though.
Yeah, you know what? That's where it ends, guys. I'm gonna give this.
See, if her college is only half an hour away, why the fuck did she move?
In their dorm?
Yeah. Isn't that for, like, if you're moving away, and it's just not practical to stay at home?
I know.
Wouldn't in most cases, like, did she just fucking stay with Tony? And plus, Tony kind of seems, especially with some of the shit she pulled in season 2, I'm surprised Tony's like, no, you think I'm going to allow you to go to New York on your own and live and stay?
Scary New York. But, guys, that's where it ended.
No, not guys, that's where it ended. Have you got a point, one happy for entertainment?
My point is
no, but did she not pull a lot of shit with party and stuff?
She did, but you could clearly tell that Tony didn't give a shit. It's more Carmela that wants to implement the discipline there.
Well, why didn't she say, no, you're going to live here?
I don't know, because maybe they'd rather at the fucking house.
Possible.
Cause chaos in New York, not our backyard. Tony did confront Patsy as well, and he's like, are we good? He's like, you're not mourning your dead brother anymore. And he's like, is it Tony's place to tell him how to mourn?
Who fucking addresses it like that anyway?
That's why he did it though, and makes it even more suspicious that they had something to do with it.
You know what I've noticed about the Sopranos? All of Tony's family are really fucking unlikable. I don't think they have much redeeming qualities.
Yeah, I would say pretty much every character in the show is pretty much unlikable.
Everyone's annoying. I don't think I like anybody. I think
even a psychiatrist is annoying.
I think, like, there's decent banter sometimes between Tony and his crew, and you like that aspect. But in terms of them being likable or nice people, there's nobody really on the show like that.
And see, before anyone goes, oh, you can't be a nice person and likable and being in these crews. Of course you can, man. Not everybody that does, like, criminal activities a fucking evil cunt. Like, at the end of the day, Tony's got a family and kids. I get it, he's the main character, but you look at, like, Chris, and it's like, Tony hypes him up as the heir to the throne, but he's just a useless junkie.
No,
nothing more.
He's funny. I mean, I like Chris, but I mean, I don't think I wouldn't say he's a likable person.
Yeah.
I think when I say I like Chris, what I mean is, I think he's one of the better characters on the show. I think the scenes he's in are more enjoyable. I don't think he's going to win fucking boyfriend of the year or whatever, or nephew of the year. I don't think he's like AJ. I mean, why would we like AJ? Just doesn't seem like this character's got a character. It's like, oh, he's getting older. We need him to be this rebellious teenager. let's make him look emo and have him start smoking.
Like, if you look back at
Randomly
Richie,
starts driving cars and shit.
but see Richie, right? They tried to portray Richie as this like evil guy, but if you look at it on the face, it was Richie more evil than the rest of his crew.
I don't think so.
And I think that's where you've got a dynamic of where it just doesn't really work when you're trying to portray one character or something, but when the rest of them are equally like that. But anyway, guys, that is where the episode ended. In the basement with Tony on the gym. I'm going to rate this episode a 2 out of 10. I genuinely think it is the worst episode to this point. I cannot think of an episode that comes close to this because nothing happened. Just setting up a bug. This episode could have been wrapped up within a couple of minutes.
The tennis player, the new tennis coach was very into Adriana and kind of just blew off Carmela. I don't know what that's all about. Is she gay or something?
I think she must be gay, but I actually don't think they play tennis after this episode, so it doesn't really matter.
That's the thing about Sopranos. There's no continuity. Like there's just
Continuation. Continuity.
Continuity. Sorry, tired. Fucking really tired. Continuity. Yeah, there's just it's like a lot of it is fucking filler.
Yeah, no, it is. Oh, but it's the American life, man. Come on. It's give something different.
See, watching this, so you'd assume, alright, they're into tennis. They've got a new coach. I wonder what's going to happen with this coach and Adriana. She seems to like Adriana. But according to you, nothing happens.
I'm pretty sure, 99% sure.
Well, there you go.
Anyway, guys, I'm giving it a 2.
So, the whole point was, they need to be at the house, but we'll drag out these scenes longer than they need to be.
That's pretty much it, aye.
All you really had to do was have the guy with the binoculars stare at her once, and that's it.
Aye, they're sitting there. They're sitting in their wee position. I'm giving it a 2, though. What are you giving it?
Yeah, 4.
4?
Oh, hold on, it's 2 places higher than you, Dick.
Aye. 4's like a below average, but it wasn't bad.
I like the wee tune.
I like the tune, too.
I actually like the operation. I just don't think it should have lasted a full episode.
I understand that. Anyway, guys, that's a 3 out of 10. Hopefully, we'll be back more with some better episodes this season and some wee epic fairy feds. But until then, peace.